All right, guys. Well, the Steelers somehow win in the West Coast versus the Rams 24-17, and they advance to 4-2. They get a win after coming off a bye. They are on a two-game winning streak. And I guess we got to address the elephant in the room immediately to start this recap, this postgame. Kenny Pickett did not get that first down. In our opinion, he was short.
Clearly short of the marker.
And the refs made a bad spot, and due to the rule book, there was nothing that the Rams or the booth could do about it.
No.
They couldn't do anything. So the refs and the rule book kind of gave the Steelers one at the end of the game. I'm not going to lie to you. I got to call a spade a spade. I do. Kenny, in our opinion, was short.
Yeah, in a way, the Steelers pretty much escaped SoFi Stadium with a W.
If you want to say that. Because of that.
Because of that,
yes.
But outside of that, the performance of this game, of this match was...
Well, one, very inconsistent, as usual, as you would expect from the Steelers. But towards the end of the game, this team showed up. In the fourth quarter, this team showed up. This team really tried to win this football game. Like, we're not used to this.
It's like all of a sudden they decided to play lights out, balls to the wall.
It's like all of a sudden they realized,
aggressive.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden they got a sense of urgency and a desire to want to win this football game.
Yeah, because pretty much the first half of the game, nothing was really happening. It was mainly defensive. There were mistakes on both teams, mainly the Rams. They were shooting themselves in the foot a lot.
Yeah.
Their kicker, Brett Maher, missed 2 field goals
and an extra point. So that's 7 points off the board with the Rams, which would have tied this game if Maher could kick accurately.
The Rams also had a couple drops on offense.
So the Rams were playing ugly to start this game, and the Steelers were kind of taking advantage, but they only got 3 points in the first half, to no one's shock.
Yeah, where the Rams had 9 coming off a 2-2 Atwell touchdown. A 31-yard touchdown at that.
Yeah, because for some reason, Levi Wallace still wants to see playing time, still wants to be one of our outside corners for some fucking reason. Just letting Tutu catch the ball, dude. Makes no sense. Sees the ball in the air and just does nothing about it. And he's getting cooked by Puka Nacua all game. Just ridiculous. Puka Nacua, the next wide receiver on the schedule to break out against our secondary.
Yeah.
Over 150 on us. Over 150 on us than Puka Nacua. And that's when the Rams started to cook. That's when the Rams got a comfortable lead and started getting plays and chunk yards and first downs on us, was when they would get the run game going consistently, chunk yardage here and there from Freeman and Henderson. And Puka Nacua was just killing us.
Yeah.
Like you said, Tutu got that touchdown, right? It was just... We couldn't stop nothing at that point.
Yeah, coming into the second half, it wasn't looking very good for the Steelers, although they were down 6 points. But then the first play of the second half happened out of the blue, out of nowhere, like an RKO from Randy Orton. T.J. Watt with a freaking interception.
Literally setting the tone for the second half.
To get the Steelers in great field position for Kenny Pickett to get a rushing touchdown. The Steelers' first rushing touchdown of the season.
And they would not stop there. They would not stop there. After that, they didn't really do anything for the rest of the third quarter, to no one's shock. In the fourth quarter, I don't know who took our offense and what they did with it, but let's keep that up. I don't know what happened to this offense in the fourth quarter, but I think we all loved it because we were getting splash plays. We were maintaining the clock. We were killing the clock. We were going down the field. We were scoring
consistently
on the ground.
We were scoring consistently.
We had 3 touchdowns today. All of them were on the ground. 2 of them on back-to-back drives when the Steelers were down 10-17.
Yeah, after a Darrell Henderson rushing touchdown, the Steelers acted accordingly and aggressively and quickly at that, something that they have not been able to do all season, which is crazy considering that during the bye week, nothing changed. Nothing happened. The Steelers did nothing to change anything when it comes to the play calling duties or the offensive coordinator or anything when it relates to the team in general. They didn't make any changes.
Because Levi Wallace is still starting and he got cooked all game. All game. You got Levi Wallace being cooked by Tutu and by Puka Nacua, And then you got Joey Porter Jr. on the other side. Every time he was lined up against Puka Nacua, Nacua was quiet. He didn't do nothing against Joey Porter.
No, JPJ pretty much had him locked down.
So why are we continuing to play Levi Wallace when he's getting cooked play after play after play after play? Makes no sense to me. When JPJ shut down Nacua every time we went up against him today. The biggest threat to our defense today was shut down by our second-round rookie. And we're not starting him? Why not?
I think it's time to start the freaking rookie, man. I think it's time to start PZ Jr.
Now,
JPJ.
we saw struggles in the ground game with JPJ. He still struggles with tackling. We know this. He struggled with tackling today. He missed a couple tackles in the ground game. But in coverage, he's easily our best coverage guy right now. And we're not playing him. Or we're not starting him. Same thing with Dan Moore. Broderick Jones is on the bench again. Why? The offensive line still sucks. That was very evident today. Kenny had no time. The offensive line couldn't get nothing going.
No.
Essentially what happened with this offense today is you could thank TJ Watt for Kenny Pickett's sneak touchdown to start the second half. But whatever happened in the fourth quarter, I don't know what happened. I don't want to discredit him, but I have watched this guy, unfortunately, call the offense for 3 years. So I can confidently say that Canada never did that in his life. Canada never did what he did in the fourth quarter ever at Steelers OC. That couldn't have been Canada. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything. There's no way that this guy calling the offense for 3 years did that. We never saw that. Never. Ain't no way he called what he called in the fourth quarter. If he did, good job. Give him his flowers for that.
Big props, if that is the case.
But us as fans watching this guy for years can't confidently say that that was all Canada. Whenever did Canada bring this offense back from a deficit like that? Whenever did Canada consistently bring offenses down like that? Call plays like that? 2 back-to-back touchdown drives.
And in
when we were down 10-17.
And on those drives, Pickett was like very smooth and very safe with the ball and very confident in the pocket. His accuracy was a bit better to his targets to Deontay Johnson, who his first game back since week 1 after being on IR. Yeah, he was very productive. He was a big asset to get us down the field.
Yeah, let's have a certain new level of appreciation for Deontay. Seeing what he did as a receiving threat today in his first game back from IR.
Yeah.
He played a big part in the passing game. Now, he did almost cost the Steelers when he wouldn't learn to shut the fuck up after a bullshit pass interference on Witherspoon. And yes, we will say that on that last drive, there were 2 penalties or 2 calls that the refs gave the Steelers, which was that pass interference on Witherspoon, which was not. The ball wasn't even catchable for Deontay.
No.
But that was going to give the Steelers an easy first down. Deontay wanted to start chit-chatting. And
got a little cocky there.
And it forced offset penalties, which forced the third down to be replayed, and which led to the 4th and 1 sneak, which, again, in our opinion, Kenny did not make it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the refs were very, very terrible today on both sides.
Overall, very terrible.
A lot of missed calls, a lot of bullshit calls on both sides. It was ridiculous. They got Pickens on a stupid blindside block, which was not a penalty. That just goes to show you how weak the NFL is, how soft it is.
That's just because of the rule book that the NFL has established now.
They're changing these rules and changing these penalties, which is softening the league. That's a bullshit penalty, in our opinion. And then I think on the Rams scoring drive in the third quarter, where they only scored their only points in the second half.
Yeah, Darrell Henderson touchdown. Yeah, they ruled TJ Watt offside, but the angle that they showed him on, he was nowhere near offside.
And that play was on third down, which that was incomplete. And then the Rams would follow with a Nacua crazy catch, and they would respond with a touchdown. So if you consider that should never happen if the refs called that perfectly.
Yeah.
Watt was not offside. At least not the view that they showed it.
No.
Just looked ridiculous. So again, the refs handed both teams favors. They did. The refs were terrible on every asset today. Missed calls, bad calls, giving calls to both teams. The refs are terrible. I ain't never seen the refs have a more worse year in general. The refs are terrible. But we got to call a spade a spade. Truthfully.
Yeah, we really do.
But I will say, the team showed up when they needed to. I will give them that. They came out and fought, which is, we don't say that often about this team.
No.
We don't. We typically say that, oh, well, the Steelers, they kind of got bailed out by drops by receivers like they did versus the Ravens, or certain penalties, or points being left off the board. And the same could be said because, again, Maher missed 3 field goals, which would add up to 7 points, which would have tied this game.
Yeah.
But they did take advantage of the Rams' sloppiness, and we were sloppy in ourselves. That's never going to change.
I mean, both teams were sloppy in this game.
Yeah. Everything was sloppy. Let's be
But
real.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what liar was lit under the Steelers' ass. I'm just glad it happened. I don't know why it always has to come to that point for the Steelers. When it comes to the fourth quarter, that's when they want to start bowling. That's when they want to start playing and being very aggressive and productive. I kind of wish that they would do some of that with the 3 other quarters. They got to play a full 60 minutes, not just 15.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad that they were able to instead of being conservative and complacent like they normally have been all year, they decided to show heart and fight and productiveness on offense, and it got us the 2 touchdowns by Najee and Warren.
And I will give the offense this, man. They were down, like I said, 10-17, and then they won 24-17. Back-to-back touchdown drives on the ground, Warren and Najee. 3 rushing touchdowns by this offense today. We had none coming into this game. In fact, we were dead last in red zone efficiency coming into this game.
Yeah, we had 0 red zone touchdowns.
We were 3 for 3 today.
Again, very unlike the Steelers. Hard to comprehend based off how we've been playing.
So I have to say, I am proud of the offense for stepping up when they needed to, which is not often. They don't do this often, which is why I question if Canada was actually behind anything.
Yeah, we have to question it.
If he was, he must have given Kenny or someone some extra freedom, because Canada was very passionate. He showed emotion when we scored, when we got first downs. He showed emotion. They showed him too often for our liking, but when they showed him, he had emotion. He cared. When Warren got that touchdown, he said, "Let's go." So whether he had to have been behind some part of it, but whether he had full influence or whether he started listening to his quarterback or whatever, I don't know. But whatever it was, let's keep that up.
Yeah.
I don't care what it was.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
You guys already know what I'm about to say. Consistency is key. What we saw in the fourth quarter, this must go into next week against the Jaguars as we go back to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. We have to keep this up. We have to use this that we did in the fourth quarter and build upon it.
Right.
With the long stretch of games that we have ahead of us. It's a long season. Still.
Oh, yeah, we got 12 more straight games.
We have to use how we played and performed against the Rams and build upon it.
Right. But the Steelers...
We can't go back to the same old Steeler way on offense. We can't do that.
Right. But until we see...
But I'm not going to hold my breath on that
Exactly.
while I'm saying it.
Exactly. Until we see this constantly week by week, we'll say, hey, good job for now. Let's keep it up. But can they keep it up? Time will tell. There's no reason to believe that.
That's what it's really all about.
That's what's holding us back. Like, hey, good job today. Let's keep on doing it. Let's keep it up. Let's do it again. Let's do it again next week. Can they? I don't know.
Exactly. With this team, you don't know. You don't know.
And we got the Jags next week. And the Jags always play us tough.
But props to the offense stepping up big time in the fourth quarter. Hopefully they build upon it and play a little bit more like that throughout the full 4 quarters, not just the fourth quarter.
Yes. So
props to the defense too for coming up big, sending pressure to Matthew Stafford. Nick Herbig got his first career sack. Ogunjobi was able to get one.
And shout out to T.J. Watt for setting the tone for the second quarter and giving the Steelers not only the first points of the game, but the first rushing touchdown of the year.
Big time.
I would be scared to know where this team would be without T.J. Watt. He really set the tone.
I wouldn't even want to think about that.
I wouldn't want to think about it either.
Steelers, they got a win, and honestly, you can consider they escaped with a win based off the sneak and where the refs placed the ball.
Yes.
But the Steelers still got a lot to work on. We still got a lot. Despite the win, we still got a lot to work on.
Yeah, so this was entire from both teams, man, from both areas, from every aspect. It was incredibly sloppy, but the Steelers edge out a win. They come back after a 10-17 deficit, and they win with 2 consistent scoring drives, which is not common. So for that matter, I will say good job. Thank you, and I am proud of that. Now let's do it again. Otherwise, bench Levi Wallace. He sucks. Play JPJ more. Let's get Broderick Jones at left tackle. Please. Please. And whatever the hell was up the offense's ass, do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. And do it consistently.
Seriously. So Steelers somehow, someway are 4-2. I don't know how. I really don't know how. We play sloppy and we still get wins, but in a way, I'll take it. I will. I will take this win today. I will. But at the same time, I know as long as they keep stretching out wins, not great change is going to occur, unfortunately. Because as long as we maintain wins, we handle business and everything is good in the world. When that's not the case. That's not the case.
No.
But I will take this win. I will. I'm proud of this team for stepping up in the second half and doing what they needed to do, and that was getting a win. Especially in seeing what the AFC North rivals did today with the Ravens and Browns. So,
yeah.
Good job on the Steelers today. I will say that. Good job on the Steelers. I am very proud of them for stepping up when they needed to. Otherwise, the errors are still very obvious, and we'll see if they can just continue to grow. But we got the Jags next week. Somehow, some way, we're 4-2, and we edge out a victory. Otherwise, Steelers win, man. Steelers win. Let us know your guys' thoughts down below. How you guys feeling, man? How you guys feel about the ref calls? I know that's going to be very controversial, and like we said at the beginning, man, Kenny did not make it.
No.
Steelers are kind of handed that one. But again, the refs were as sloppy as both these teams today. This game was very sloppy.
Yeah.
Very, very sloppy. So, regardless, Steelers edge it out. Any given Sunday, right? They edge it out and they get a win in the West Coast. So let us know your guys' thoughts down below. Here we go, Steelers, at the end of the day. Let's prepare for the Jags game. And shout out to the run game for stepping up. Shout out to Pickens. Shout out to Deontay. And shout out to TJ Watt. So they made big plays today. And see you in the next one.
And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!